Yo, what's up, everybody? This is the Bushwick Bears coming at you. Just want to give you a heads up that tonight, Thursday, November 19th, 8 p.m. at the Tiny Cupboard. What do we got going on, Jericho?
Bushwick Bears live and in person.
Live and in person. The first time we've been to Bushwick in a year.
Do we have a complete lineup now? I know we got Ian Fidance.
Got Ian Fidance, who we'll make fun of on the podcast. Got Jordan Jensen.
We got Drexton Clemens.
Oh, and Onika McLean. You probably seen her on our Zoom show.
Hell yeah, it's a killer lineup. We're going to have a great time.
And a special guest. The special guest might just be somebody also not famous, but still, they're going to be funny.
They might be famous.
They might be famous.
But yeah, it's the last show of the year. Hopefully not the last show of all time, but might be, so you should be there.
Lord, I was born a rambling man, making a living and doing the best I can. I don't know the words to that fucking song, but Boris just fucked up the camera.
There's no way we're including all of that as a song.
Is that the Grateful Dead?
It's Allman
No,
Brothers.
Allman Brothers. Okay, same difference.
That solo got better as it
Whoa.
went on. At first, it wasn't even close. But then
Yeah.
at the
I had
end,
to
it
really
kind
harmonize
of you
it.
tied it together there.
When I worked at the liquor store, the owner of it, he was a really big Allman Brothers fan, and it was cool though because we played Pandora, and he was like play classic rock in a wine store all day, and that's actually where I learned more about Dire Straits.
Yeah.
Got into Mark Knopfler's solo
Ooh,
shit.
a little Mark
Yeah.
Knopfler. Huh?
Yeah,
No picks.
No
He
picks.
plays with his fingers.
The Sultan
beautiful
of Swing.
fucking solo. We played a lot of Van Morrison, Pre-Moon Denial. I think he denies the existence of the moon.
Does he?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he's one of those.
Well, how did he dance under it?
Right. Yeah.
I love
no, maybe it was
Van
flat
Morrison.
Earth. Yeah. But anyways,
Moon
I
denial.
love. That was one of my favorite things. You ever seen that video of? I think it's Buzz Aldrin. It's
Yeah.
either Buzz Aldrin
Yeah,
or Neil
it's Buzz
Armstrong.
Aldrin.
He like
Buzz
punched,
Aldrin.
punched
Yeah, that
somebody.
dude the camera asked about it. He turned around and just punched him in
Hell
the
yeah.
face.
Yeah. Hell yeah. God bless our senior citizens.
that's like
Our veterans and senior citizens for defending what's right.
You're like, I don't know what you don't know. Oh, really? No, I don't even want to explain to you. Well,
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, it's like that thing where did you ever watch Jim Stossel? He was that reporter. He was a news reporter.
John Stossel?
John Stossel, I'm sorry. And he said I think it was Sid Vicious, that like wrestling was fake. And so Sid Vicious smacked him. He goes, that feel fake to you, bitch?
I'm going to go ahead and say that is nothing like the Neil Armstrong situation.
No, because this
polar
this
opposite.
guy was saying the moon landing is fake.
No, I get it. I'm
Yeah.
being sick, but it is the opposite in that wrestling is fake, and Sid Vicious is the nutcase in that situation.
Wrestling is real.
I'm not saying that as a pejorative, by the way.
And the moon landing was real.
All right. It's got to be both or neither, okay? If wrestling is fake, so is the moon landing.
How can the moon be round if the earth is flat?
Hi, guys. Welcome to the Bushwick Bears podcast. Here we are, back at it again. I'm Jericho Davidson. I got Boris Hike in here. Derek Humphrey.
Flat earth denier.
We were talking about classic rock for a second. Mark Knopfler. Hey, man, he got away with saying faggot. And it's still on the radio.
Was
wait.
that in Money
Is
for
it-
Nothing?
Yeah, he
Oh,
says
Money
it
for
twice.
Nothing.
In
Yeah,
Money
yeah,
for
yeah.
Nothing. He says it twice, and it's like, and they took "Baby It's Cold Outside" off the radio because there was some like rapey vibes, but that dude just like
Yeah.
throwing that term
Snuck
around.
in there. I think
I
it's
was-
just because it's quick.
I always thought that song was about Prince.
Money for
I
Nothing.
was told it was about Prince. That's why I thought
it might be,
what
but
I
in the
was like-
video, the guy when he says that line, it says the little
Oh,
faggot
yeah,
with
that-
the earring and the makeup. The little faggot, he's a millionaire. They showed what's his name, Simon. They show a guy who looked exactly like the guy from Duran Duran.
Right. Well, they're English. Dire Straits is English.
Yeah.
And so I read on Wikipedia what it was. It was like about like some guy coming home to watch MTV and like
Well, yeah,
look at all this fake life.
Yeah, it's like I maybe get him. That song is so dumb. I like the Dire Straits sometimes, but that song is like so stupid. Because Mark Knopfler never worked a day in his life either. He's a fucking guitar player, but he's like talking about
he's a nasty guitar player.
He is a nasty.
He put in the work. Okay.
Well, it's not like Bruce Springsteen knows how to weld.
Bruce Springsteen will admit it. I've heard him talk about he's like, no, he's like, I just wrote songs about made up characters. He's like, I've been a rock star since I was 17.
Yeah.
Right.
He's like,
That's true.
He's like, I never worked in a factory.
He's like, I can't swing a hammer.
He talked about that in that Broadway show. Welcome. How are you guys feeling? You guys feel good?
Yeah, I feel pretty good.
Yeah, I feel great.
Got an early start today. You know, we're recording at 3:00.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's almost 4 now, but yeah. I feel pretty good. I got some work done already.
You know, it's funny. We were talking about this earlier, and I was thinking about it. It's like, I feel like with this pandemic, there's like two types of people, really. Like the people who have like figured out and have new skills or like doing something.
A new routine or something.
Yeah, getting in shape or learning French or whatever. And then there's the people that are just like not doing anything at all. And I feel like I am just... the only new skill I have is I've found porn stars that look like almost all of my friends.
Even us two?
Both
You got one like
both
me
you
and
guys.
one
So you
porn
found
Derek?
black guys.
Well, you got a new look.
I got a new look. I got my I have to get a job haircut.
Yeah.
You know, I'm cleaned up a little bit because I do need to find a job. I need to make some money somehow, some way.
Right. Yeah. My new skill is like knowing exactly when a Paul Newman's pizza is done in the oven.
you don't even have to set a timer
You just
anymore.
set-
I ain't have to set a timer anymore. I can just like tell by the smell.
You the feel.
Yeah. There's a feel for it. It's like it's just like become such a habit of my life that like now I know. So I've gotten in a little bit like I've gotten better physically, but I've also gotten in worse shape at the same time.
That's what. Yeah, like I definitely like. Someone was like, we were talking. Someone's like, "Oh yeah, you look good." I was like, "Well, it's because I'm incredibly depressed, so I'm not really eating or drinking."
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I have lost weight. I'm not losing good weight though. I still have gut. My shoulders and arms are just smaller.
Yeah.
Like I'm weaker. I'm still fat. I'm just weaker.
I feel better. I don't know, the type of work that I've been doing. I do a lot of balance stuff as of late, and these things called primal movements and stuff. I just don't want to be like, I live near a bunch of old people in Queens now, and I see them all walking along in their rockers and stuff. The rockers that also
You don't
double
want
as a
to
seat. I
show
don't want
off
to be
in
them.
front of them. You don't want to. You don't want to work too hard because it feels like you're bragging.
Like,
Right,
what's
yeah.
up, old man? Look at me. I can walk without the walker.
Did you hear
Yeah.
me making noise last night? That was jumping jacks. Can you do those?
That kick his walker out from underneath him. Like, you have no core strength to stop this.
You're like the prison, the dude in like the lead dude in the prison, except in your like senior home that you live in.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it. You guys bought an apartment in a senior assisted
Yeah.
living facility.
Give me your Jello, bitch.
Every time a new 70-year-old moves in, they know they got to knock out Derek or they're gonna
They
get
gotta go.
bullied.
Yeah, they're coming up to take me on at the backgammon courts. It's almost nap time for somebody. No, I just don't want to be an old piece of shit who has to do that. Not that those people knew any better what was coming, but like we have so much information in our age nowadays. We know how like people are looking better the older they get. Like generally speaking, like I look at myself or like my peers or people my age, and I'm like, why do I feel like I look younger than what my like? Okay, that challenge of that internet meme where Wilford Brimley, when he filmed Cocoon, is the same age as Tom Cruise is like now.
What the fucking
Right.
shit?
Like Wilford Brimley was only like 56,
Holy
57 or whatever when he did Cocoon, and which is like how old Tom Cruise is jumping off motorcycles.
But that's
onto
also
airplanes.
but Tom Cruise is like also fucking unique.
Well, he's got
Yeah,
that
but here's the thing, though.
Scientology super alien
He's
blood.
got something, man.
Here's the thing though, is if you looked at a picture of my dad from 42 versus how maybe that's not a good example.
Yeah,
He did do heroin. But,
you don't do heroin. You're not in a relationship with Sweet Lady H.
I see the argument you're making, just that now maybe people are more not just health conscious, but we have some more correct information when it comes to health that we didn't have.
Yeah. Well,
40
just
years ago.
just like the self-referential nature of us now, with like seeing how old people look and like the things that they're talking about, like, or like when you see an old person who gets into yoga and then it corrects a lot of the stuff that was wrong with them.
Yeah.
Like Johnny with Tai Chi.
Who? Oh, Johnny. Oh. I didn't know he
Johnny
does.
is like 55, 56 years old. He's in
I forget how
pretty
old,
great,
yeah.
right? He's
Yeah,
in
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
great shape. He does an hour of Tai Chi like every morning.
I didn't realize he was that old. That is pretty good.
Yeah.
Tai Chi is the martial art against the wind.
He claims he can probably take like, half a dozen people if they got him. He's like, smaller than me, 56 years old.
Yeah, Johnny
I
couldn't
love-
beat
I
me
love-
up with
I
one
love-
arm.
I
tied
love-
behind
I
my
love-
He might
back.
be able to. He's like, you got attack me, Boris. Attack me. And he's
Well,
like,
that's what
starts
it's
doing
contingent on. It's like, attack me, Johnny.
No, that is one thing. My body might be deteriorating and all my muscles might be atrophying because all I do is lay in bed and watch TV. But I've never been more handsome.
more softer
Like
skin.
my face, it looks great. Like with my beard, I cut my beard real short and my hair, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, you look 10 years younger. Ooh, you look so handsome." And I was
It
like,
took
yeah,
some years off.
I'm
Yeah.
withering away to nothing.
I've been doing kettlebells. My goal is to get good enough to use them as weapons.
Hey, it's a realistic and honest goal, and I
Like,
Just
if
gotta
there- if
walk
there's a-
around with a kettlebell at night.
Yeah, if there's a fifth Ninja Turtle who has just kettlebells, it's me. That's what I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
Derek Catello.
I was trying to think of like the shittiest Renaissance painting.
Oh yeah. I'm Pollock. Like, what? Yeah, after
Did I ever
Jackson
tell you about
Pollock.
this? This is just a side note, and it's just because I'm such a fucking nerd, right? I'm half retarded and half fucking genius, right? So I even out to be like a normal person,
Sure.
basically. But I can't. There's so many things I can't do. and
No,
there's
you
so
don't.
many
But go on.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough, Boris. But I was sitting at the Cobra Club. This was right before COVID, and there was a comedy show there on Fridays, and I was hanging out at that comedy show.
Oh yeah.
Did I ever
Live
tell you
from
this
Outer
story?
Space.
Yeah, I was at Live from Outer Space, and I was in the smoking section, and there were two comedians who are very, very liberal, very woke, young, social justice warrior ladies.
So it wasn't Micah Fox.
Definitely. No, me and
Micah Fox is very funny, so I can tell just by the way he said comedians.
I know. I was like, I
Uh,
wonder what women comics he's talking about.
So I was sitting there on my phone, and I was staring at my phone, and they were like kind of there, and they were talking to each other. I wasn't paying any attention to them, and I giggled at what I was looking at my phone.
Right.
Fuck you, giggle eye.
That's
Jericho.
a microaggression.
No, the one person, the non-binary person, said to me, "What the fuck are you laughing at, Jericho?" Like a bully. I know both of them very well,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Excuse me?" And they're like, she's like, "What are you laughing at?" And maybe they thought I was laughing at them, but I was like, 15th century Italian Renaissance paintings. Caravaggio, to be precise. I found what I was looking for. And they both started laughing. I was like, "You fucking bullies. I'm over here sitting here enjoying some artwork on my phone."
Do you think A degree they were joking?
No, not at first. If once I told you who it is, you'd be
But
like,
that's
"Oh,
a
yeah."
nice de-escalating response
I
on
was
your
just,
part.
it was, yeah. I
The
was
fuck are you looking at? Slur, slur, slur.
No, I was
Yeah.
like, I'm just enjoying some Italian Renaissance art. I finally found the exact painting I was looking for. And I was like, "Here you go."
I miss Cobra Club.
Oh yeah, I miss.
That was
I miss
fun. That was a good
bars
show.
in general. It was. Holy. Yeah, no. Me and Micah Fox, we're good. We have the, Arizona cocaine stepdad combination.
Right, yeah. I did. Oh, you know what? I'll tell a story from that. I did that show. I did Live from Outer Space one time. Micah was hosting. Great lineup. And I was doing a set what I felt like was going pretty good. I think I have the recording of it still. It's a great set, going well so far. And I'm telling a joke that normally does well. It's about Batman and about how Batman's true impact as a hero could be used through. It's a trope now in popular culture, but like
That is true, actually. Yeah, you said that first. At least
yeah,
heard you
I
say
did on record say that first. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, no, but anyways, and about how it affects poor communities, blah blah blah, or whatever. And it's a joke, and it's a joke that works well in any room with a sense of humor. And there's this one kid who,
I was there that night.
yeah, you were there that night. He starts he starts yawning while I'm telling this joke. He's like, I just see this. He's
like audibly?
yeah, here. So I'll paint the picture for you. So
Like a king who's like, next.
Yeah. And so there are a few rows of seats that are there. Whatnot. This kid's in like the second row. He's a black nerd. He's a blurred. And he could, because he's wearing like nerdy flannel tucked into his khaki pants. He's carrying like what looks like a child's backpack. He's got a bright orange hat on. He looks like Otto Fernandez.
He has Down syndrome is what you're saying.
No.
That's not
Derek Humphrey
blurred.
did not say that. So anyway, so I'm telling this joke or whatever, and I'm doing my tags to it, and I just hear this big loud and I'm like, that's just got to be a misnomer. Don't pay attention to it. Just keep going, or whatever. And then I hear again, I can see him out of the corner of my eye do this number.
So is he being like performative? You think he's not even sincerely yawning?
Yeah, at this point, I'm like, I know he's being performative. I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah.
And then he loudly puts on his backpack, starts shuffling around.
What an asshole.
He wants to get attention, stands up. And I was like, this motherfucker over here was sitting there yawning and shit. And he goes, well, because of how I look, your jokes don't have an effect on me. Or he's like, they affect people who look like me. And I was like, nerds? Because
That's great.
This dude was a fucking nerd, and he was like, so then he walks out to the front. He leaves the performance area, and I just go back to doing shit or whatever. And then like maybe I had 2 minutes left. Then like maybe a minute later, I started to get mad. I even commented on stage, and I was like, man, fuck that kid. I was like upset because it's like the joke. If you think about it, if you have half a fucking brain, it's actually like kind of demystifying a white hero trope, right? In Batman, right? And how we better serve the community for wealth distribution. It's actually a little liberal faggy joke if you fucking think about it, to help affected communities. And so, but he didn't think about it. He just like wants to react to like the buzzwords or whatever.
Right.
So then
he didn't like you, and he doesn't like you talking about it.
Yeah, which I get it. You don't like handsome people, fine. But still, so then we go. So then Micah and I do the hosting, and like there's maybe a couple comics left, and we're standing in the back, we're like, what the fuck was that? So we go out to the front after the show is over. Blurred is still there, right? And he keeps looking over at me and stuff, and like I don't drink anymore at this point. I'm not gonna go say anything to him. I don't want to talk to him because there's nothing's gonna come out of this other than him being able to say that I did something hateful, mean, intimidating, whatever.
Right.
Because he's also like 5.5 feet and maybe like 150 pounds.
Right, you're a bully no matter what happens.
Right, no matter what the context of it, right? And so Micah's like, I'll go talk to him. And so, because she was pissed off. She was pissed off too.
Yeah.
She's like, who the fuck you think you are? And he goes, I work at Saturday Night Live, right? I know what good comedy is. And she goes, you do? And she goes, yeah, I work with Chris Redd and Michael Che. And she pulls out her phone. She brings up Che's phone number. She goes, what's your number? Let's talk to him. And he goes, oh. I mean, like, I'm a PA. And like she still could have called up and been like, taken his picture, been like, I got this dude, like totally fucked his fucking life up. But Micah was like so fucking
she
cool,
would
like,
do
even
it.
though she wouldn't do it because that's snitch shit. That would be the bitch behavior that this motherfucker was engaging
What's
in.
also so funny is like under any other context, especially because I'm guessing he was probably on the younger side if he's acting like this. But I'm under any other context, to be like, oh, you're a PA, doesn't know. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Right,
That's a
yeah,
really cool
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And then just took that cool thing and like, oh, you found a way to make it really fucking stupid and be a piece
Right.
of shit about it.
Right. It's the same as like if I were delivering cronuts to Shakespeare in the Park, and then I went to another
Love where this is going.
and then I
already.
went to another Shakespeare play, and I interrupted, and I go, no. I know Shakespeare.
I work Shakespeare.
In Shakespeare. This is not Shakespeare. It's just like that false equivalency. Anyways, God bless Cobra Club. I hope you come back.
There was one time we were doing a show at Tender Trap, and I was doing this. I used to do this weird improv show in Arizona, and we were trying to do that here, right? And we were doing it, and
like improv.
it was not like improv. It was like that we put the topics.
Riff. You're riffing.
Riffing, yeah. So it's like you're doing stand up off the topics.
okay,
The
yeah,
crowd.
I've never heard a
Put on-
stand-up willingly describe something they do as improv when it wasn't even improv.
It wasn't even really.
Jericho's
improv.
really not part of that war.
No, I don't. I choose my battles. But we're doing that, and I remember it was so funny because there was this guy who was just mouthing off like crazy, and Fight Ends was on stage.
That's really funny because I was about to tell a story when you were done while I pretended to listen to yours, planning on telling mine
It's the usual.
about a time when I had a conflict and it was a show I did with finance too.
Well-
but you go and finish
Fight
yours.
Ends was there, and I just remember I was there, Graham was there, Diego Lopez was there, and this guy starts mouthing off like crazy, and I'm like, I'll let Ian handle this for now.
Yeah.
Right, I'll let Ian have this. And Diego, in a moment, even looked at me and like made the gesture of like taking his shirt off. And I was like, no, wait, let's let Ian handle this for a minute.
And for those who might not know, Diego's like jujitsu.
Like
He's a black belt.
yeah, he's like a trained fighter.
yeah.
He like looked at me like that. I was like, no, let's see what Ian can do with this. And the guy kind of rushed the stage, and actually before any of us could get there, Tom Takar
Oh yeah.
was there, and he like got in front of the guy, and then we all got there. But the guy started screaming like, I work for SNL. None of you guys are gonna work in this fucking town ever again.
What was his issue though to begin with?
Just that he was thought Ian sucked or something. He was just drunk.
Oh well, how many people could that be?
It was so funny because I just remember being like, all right, here goes nothing. But Tom like jumped over his chair and was the first one there, you know?
Yeah. Oh, well, the
That's
jiu-jitsu
amazing because Tom
guys.
Takar is like the least threatening.
Yeah.
I was gonna say he jumped up while all you jiu-jitsu guys just stood back. Let's see where this goes.
Yeah. Hey, guy with the least amount of training and the least amount of muscle mass on your body.
No, we backed him up, and then like Ian like jumped off the stage, and the guy left. But it
Yeah.
was,
Jericho and I talked about this. I want to pay a dude who is like my size. Just some random dude. I don't know. Give him like $1,000.
You can find somebody on the streets who will fucking handle you good.
Yeah. To no. A guy my size or whatever to go up and attack Diego Lopez just to see, because I don't want to do it, but I want to see what would happen to me if I did it. So I want to find, like, if you're 6'3", 300 pounds, and you feel like you could get fucked up, DM me. We'll talk.
Be your buddy
should've
double.
just videoed
Body
it
double.
enough times when Diego did fuck me up.
Oh yeah. No, I mean just like in the wild, like not in like a studio. I would go wrestle him, like if I really felt that.
You mean
way.
like
I
on the
wanna see,
streets?
yeah,
You
like
wanna
this
see
is
a
like
guy-
this is like an experiment.
Yeah.
Like this is, I want to see like this experiment actualized in person. I want to see a guy. I want to see Diego walking down Bedford, and then some dude coming up and like starting beef with him and trying to throw dukes. And I would like to see how quickly Diego would fuck that dude up and have him wrapped up. I'm guessing in under like 30 seconds if even that long.
I saw something with like this dude that was like an older, like 60-year-old jujitsu guy, and some dude tried to jump him in a parking lot, and like they had it out for a little bit, but it didn't take that long till he just like put him to sleep.
Right. I mean, there's some of those dudes who could put you to sleep real quick, and then there's I heard about. There was like a guy broke into an MMA fighter's house, and the MMA fighter was like, yeah, that guy actually put up like a really good fight.
Yeah.
And it's all just like, that's why you do train. Is like, that's just
Or
the
that's why you
separation
buy a gun.
Wow, there's
I
that
ain't trying
too.
to take on an MMA fighter.
Well, no, this was in the MMA fighter. That guy lives in Nebraska, so he had guns.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
He was just being responsible.
No, it was just like it became like a whole thing. And
The
then
guns
it
aren't for home intruders. They're for the government.
What was the story you were?
Oh
gonna say?
yeah, well the one time I had somebody swing at me. I did a show in Delaware at a
Oh, wow.
at a pizza spot where Ian was booking a show, and we drove out, and I'm trying to remember if it was Cantrell.
Comet Pizza?
No, like Pizza Supreme or something.
Comet Pizza is where
I don't know Comet Pizza.
that's where
but,
Pizzagate shooting took
oh,
place.
wasn't that? Was it
Yeah.
the DC one? Well, no. Well, this
Anyway,
was.
Sorry.
This dude was like in the bathroom before the show, and he didn't lock the door, so I like was going to the bathroom, and I opened the door, and I saw he was in there. I was like, oh, and I closed the door back. Then he came out and gave me like a dirty look. I didn't really think about it that much afterwards, but he was trashed. And so during the show, he was talking throughout, like Ian hosting, he was talking throughout whoever featured that night, and then or through whoever did the guest spot that night, and I think I was featuring, but he started talking, and then at that point he'd already been talking, like they should have kicked him out. And I forget what I said, but I basically was like, oh, you're the dude, like, in the bathroom. Like, for the record, if I walk in on you because you left the door unlocked, like, you're the pervert. Like, I'm not. And, like, I'm, like, just riffing with it. And it clearly wasn't even, like, registering in the back of his eyes. And he just stood up in, like, really slow motion. I'm not a fighter. I wouldn't have a quick reaction. But it was just, like, really not good to where, like, he wasn't even really a threat, but they kicked him out of the show once he did that. But they waited a while to kick him out because he was
the
talking.
gnarliest one I've seen. I mean, well, besides the ones that I've dealt with on my own, like the time. I think I've talked about this one. The time the biker fucking dude pulled a gun on us in North Phoenix. Did I tell you about that one?
During a show?
Yeah.
Whoa.
No.
I was sitting right there, and all Pauly Casillas, my dear friend, all he said was this dude was like in his vest, had a big white beard, like full on like biker gang dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Fucking gotta be pushing 70 years old, like big white beard, older guy, and all Pauly said was, look, it looks like what this is what Santa Claus does on the off season.
Oh man.
Such a simple
Like
riff.
pretty light little
And the
ribbing.
dude was like, "What? You fucking talking shit about me? You talking shit about me? What about what now?" And pulled out a gun, and we're all like, "Ah!" Like, I was sitting there like, "Ah!" And Pauly like de-escalated it, and it was like, and then the guy got escorted out, and he left, and Pauly looked right at me, and he was like, "Well, you're just gonna stand there while I get fucking shot on stage?" I was like, "I don't know what to."
That guy must pull his gun out like 30 times a day if that's the threshold.
Right? Like it was that
here's
simple.
Here's your change, sir. 43 cents. This is 42 cents.
I couldn't even believe it. Literally, it wasn't even. It's like, oh, this is what Santa Claus looks like on the off season. You're like,
Pretty vanilla.
Guy
You wouldn't
big
even have
white
done in a
I mean,
in a roast battle.
that guy was looking for a reason to pull out his gun.
Right.
It wasn't like he was like, I'm having a good day. And then somebody
right.
said that
Yeah.
lukewarm insult to him, and
I really,
that sent him over the edge.
I really like all the choices I made in life. I'm happy
Yeah.
that.
Let me go out, take my 9mm out on a date. Celebrate.
Me and Lucille, my 9mm.
I try to avoid confrontation as much as I can. I don't like also because you do the jiu-jitsu thing, and I've thought about before, but I don't like grappling. I don't like wrestling. I've never been a
like
wrestling
it.
guy.
It's real fun.
I don't like human contact like that, and so it's just not in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
So and then I'm like, why don't you go boxing? But then I'm like, I don't like concussions. I'm like, yeah, I'll just go get a gun.
You know, I've been waiting. This is not that related to self-defense, but I've been waiting for like gyms to open up. I want to take like a tumbling, like an adult gymnastics.
Oh yeah, you
nice.
mentioned that before.
Yeah,
I just want to get back in the pool.
That's a good one. I want to learn to do a backflip. I've always wanted to learn it, and now like, there's been so much free time and nothing to do. I'm like, fuck, I wish I could learn a backflip. I started looking up. Obviously, all the gymnastics classes are all closed, and I'm like, that's it. Once I can get back in there, I've been wanting my whole life to learn to backflip. I'm fucking getting in there and learning to backflip.
I want gyms to open back up so I can masturbate in public and not feel weird about it.
Well, they're technically open until 10 p.m., right?
Is that the deal?
Is that just not your jerk off hours?
I was going to the YMCA in Union Square before all this happened.
Fans?
It's not that fancy. It's the gay one, and
I think they're all the gay.
Well,
do you not remember the song and everything?
This one's the closest one to Chelsea.
Yeah.
And so, which I don't give a fuck about that. Sports have always been gay, but
True.
But anyways, I called once they started opening back up, and I was like, "Hey, what's up with the pool?" And they're like, "You need to make a reservation 48 hours in advance, and you can only use it for 30 minutes at a time," sort of thing. And I'm like, "Well, this is too much of a hassle to reactivate this fucking membership." Now I'm like bored enough. I'm like, man, maybe I should go do this.
I need activities to fill up my time.
But they're gonna close the gyms back down because they closed schools down.
Yeah, they closed schools down today, right?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
And then, but Europe, but they're keeping restaurants and bars open. Europe actually did the opposite of that, and their numbers are going down. They kept schools open.
Depends where in Europe. I know Portugal's getting fucked up right now. There's like a couple others. I don't know if anybody's like figured it out yet fully. Every place as soon as they're doing well, except for like New Zealand and a couple that are like shut off from the rest of the world, especially in Europe. Every time I hear a country's doing better, next thing you know, they're having a fucking attack in their hospitals.
Yeah, I figured that's why I was like, I'm not trying to beat myself up too bad about like not doing anything. I was like, I'm just gonna ride out the holidays, ride out winter, and just say fuck it.
I'm just gonna get off social media and work out. That's all I can really think of to do. It's because people are still able to make other people feel like complete shit.
Well, I think that'd be good for you because honestly, if you started working out, you'd be a monster, dude. You'd be terrifying.
I want to avoid that as well. I'm trying to be healthier. I just want to.
Just your bone structure compared to mine. You're like an inch taller than me, but your shoulders are 4 inches, 5 inches wider than mine.
It's true. I should have gotten into bodybuilding instead of football.
But you were also in the military, so I'd imagine you had a prominent phase in your life where you built up your muscle structure and stuff.
It was actually after. I mean, I used to lift weights. I lifted weights my whole life. I lifted weights in. So I played sports in high school and stuff like that. But I always lifted as like a thing, so it would maybe help me get better at sports. But I should have just done it exclusively for vanity. So that I wouldn't have had to waste my time with sports. Sports were gay. Like I remember playing football, and it was just like all you would hear about the dudes doing is telling all the girls would tell them, they'd be like, yeah, such and such says you got a small dick, or like this person says you got a weird dick. And like, why are all these dudes looking at everybody's dick and then talking about everybody's dick? And I thought, according to the way you guys talk about stuff, we're supposed to hate gay people. Why are you guys acting like gay? Because all the athletes would be like, yeah, I don't like fucking gays or whatever, but then you guys are doing gay shit. You're like walking around hugging each other with
sounds
your
like they
shirts
were
off.
conflicted and
No, what I'm saying is they were conflicted. Yeah. I was not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Them.
Yeah.
No, not you.
I'm just
You're
there
straight and you know it for sure.
I was only there for pussy. I was only playing sports because in pop culture I didn't have a dad, so in pop culture taught me like the sports athlete guy gets the fucking girls. I'm like, I like girls. This is what I was trying to do.
We get it. You're straight,
We
Derek.
get it, Derek.
No, you guys don't understand. Like, talk about. I love women. I
who
won't
had a
ever
weird
stop
dick?
loving women.
Who had a weird dick in high school? Did Tommy Johnson have a weird dick? Who had the biggest dick in the locker room? Come on, Derek.
Ryan Asher had the biggest.
Ryan Asher. is-
Ryan Asher, if you're out there, buddy.
Somebody's
where's
gonna look
Ryan
him up
Asher
on
with his big-ass
Facebook after listening.
Yeah,
to
go ahead
this.
and look him on Facebook and DM him and be like, Derek Humphrey says,
You got a big
according
old
to
dick.
other dudes, you have a big dick. Well, I heard it first from a girl.
You
that-
heard it here first, folks.
Ryan Asher has a big ass dick.
I heard it from
Can
a
we
girl.
name the episode that?
Yeah, Ryan Asher has a big dick. Yeah, I think he would love it.
It
I
would at
think
least
Ryan
get us one extra listen from Ryan Asher.
Yeah. Like if there's anybody named Ryan Asher has a Google alert set up for their
You know
name,
what's so weird?
then when this episode drops, it's gonna be like Christmas.
I don't know. I don't know how it went for you guys, but like I had a man's dick on a boy's body for a little while. Like my dick came in before the rest of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was a little confusing. I remember
That's
that.
also true for me, but also because I had a boy's body up until a very late period. Some would say to this day.
I was gonna say if you shaved all that chest hair off,
I'm Katie Lang.
Like in 8th grade, I had a big hog, but I still have that big hog from 8th grade.
you grew around it.
I grew around it. Yeah.
You were no Ryan Asher.
No, I wasn't. No, in fact, you would think it was weird because actually, when I was born, the very first thing that ever formed on me was my penis. I actually was a penis and then a body.
And then the
grew
rest
out.
of you grew around. The doctors just delivered a penis. They're like, well, we have a boy, I think.
I remember I had a stepbrother that was the same age as me. But he I remember one day when he had like full pubes way before I did. And I was like, what the I was like, what's this little boy thing? And then mine caught up pretty soon. But I just remember there was that little weird time of like him having a full ass bush and me being a completely hairless wonder.
Yeah, there are a lot of dudes with like back hair and crap like that who were young.
I got all that pretty early.
I still don't even have armpit hair.
All the testosterone that didn't go to my height came out in body hair.
Came out body hair.
Fully.
You made up for. Do you guys ever go? Do you ever go to like the Korean spa?
I went
What
to.
makes them Korean?
Like that's the style.
I've gone to the Russian bathhouse
Russian
a
bathhouse
lot,
is the same
but I
as-
went to a Korean one actually
Korean ones are
with
just
my
bigger,
mom in
usually.
Jersey.
Yeah.
And it
Oh,
was
okay.
huge. It was
Yeah,
a
the
huge
Korean
spa.
ones are huge.
I just I can't tell.
For the point of
Between
but have you
Russians
been to,
and
like,
Koreans both look the
have you
same
been
to
to
me.
No, I meant like if like the ladies from Japan or from
Oh.
Korea.
Right.
No, have you
or
been to like
whatever.
Spa Castle or King Spa?
Uh-uh.
I've been to the Russian ones too. The Russian ones are funny because they look like Eastern Bloc buildings.
Yeah, they look cool on the outside.
They're not like very stripped. There's nothing on the walls.
The ones in
bricks
Brooklyn
and-
you're
yeah.
talking about, yeah.
Yeah,
Because there's one in Lower Manhattan too that I've gone to a
I've-
lot. That's the one I go to most often.
I think I've been to that one
On
as
Fulton
well.
Street.
Yes, I have been to that one.
Yeah.
But the Korean ones are very much like Korean, like bright and all kinds of decorations. You
They're
know,
happy
cool.
places, but
Yeah.
the Russian ones are the miserable.
They're the
Yeah,
miserable
yeah.
ones.
You go to feel pain and learn to enjoy it.
But I went to the Korean one with a buddy of mine, and up in the main parts you wear your you wear like an outfit and it's co-ed, but in the basement it's nude, but it's all men, right? And I remember walking in and being like, in my mind I was like, I hope I'm just right in the middle. Right, I don't got to be the
I
biggest.
just don't want to
have be the
stand out.
smallest.
Yeah.
I just want to be in the middle. Well, I'm already gonna be the biggest dude in there that I was.
Right.
But I walked in and I was like, okay, that's fine. I was like, there's some old Asian men who
Just dangling about.
like nothing. It's
Oh,
tiny little.
oh.
Or then there was like some Dominican kid who was probably 20 years old. That went down to his knees. So I'm like, okay, I'm right in the middle. And then I turn around and my buddy is completely shorn. Like he is completely manscaped. His whole bush and everything's gone. And I was like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
He's just putting himself on display.
Like, what are you doing? 'Cause it's like it's like the
optics.
The color's different. Like he's like up here because I was like, what are you doing?
He's like tan where
He was like, well, it was the wife's birthday. And I was like, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, your wife didn't give a shit about you
Yeah,
doing that.
yeah.
No.
When my buddies and I backpacked Europe and we went to Germany, is when I was like 20, and I had a friend that lived there, my breast friend, as you guys know.
Breast friend.
And we went to a bath. Oh, no, it wasn't with him. I forget who it was with, but we went to a German bathhouse, and it was all nude and co-ed and like
Oh wow.
ginormous and literally like, and it's not, you get used to it pretty quickly,
Yeah.
and it's also like one of those things where when you're on the outside of it and everyone's in their clothes and you're like, oh man, a bunch of hot women or whatever. Once you're inside, like it kind of like your brain doesn't. You get over it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But it was like huge whole thing, like families going in there and shit.
I've seen a lot of
Dicks, we know.
Down syndrome.
Sports.
A lot of Down syndrome penis.
Why have you seen so much
Wait,
Down
what?
syndrome?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Down syndrome penis.
Why?
Because I had to go to camp when I was a kid, and often like YMCA camp, which is poor kids camp, like day camp. You don't really get to go away to camp.
Right.
Your parent drops you off, and then the YMCA takes you to some city activity
Right.
during
Right.
the day, and they usually pair you up with another YMCA or like another group or whatever. And oftentimes, like geographically where we lived, we were near like the one that had all the kids with like Down syndrome and challenges and whatnot, you know.
Were you in a Hasidic area?
No, no, I didn't. We didn't know what Jews were in Ohio. But anyways, and so they would all like we would always be like at going swimming or whatever, you know, and then they get out of the pool, pull their pants down, you know, or like they'd walk through the bathroom with their pants like around their ankles or whatever.
Like a big boy.
Yeah. And and you know, you're a kid and whatever, you know, it's like I feel bad, you know, it wasn't like making fun of them or whatever. It was more just like I feel
Not
I feel,
like now.
yeah, not like I mean, fuck them now, but like no, and the thing was like most of the time they were just big, you know, and it's like you start to sit there and wonder, it's like, well, would I trade like for like
Would I get like just a little down?
like if I could take however many points off my IQ.
Well, we
and
asked
if
your
it
wife.
translated to more
We asked your
inches.
wife, and she said she prefers downs, Derek.
Tell me about it. She feels like she's already got it down. Derek. She feels
Just made me think. I have a friend. One of my dear friends is a fucking special ed teacher, and he's an administrator at this point. But when he first, I remember when he first time he was like, "Man, how was your day?" And he's like, "Well, I didn't have to clean shit out of pubes today."
oh man.
That's
Wow.
I was like, "Oh man, my days were never that bad."
Yeah.
I feel like there's a line at which that can no longer be the teacher's responsibility.
Yeah, man. My wife works with kids, and they're not like that or anything, but like that. But they have some challenges and stuff like that, just learning wise. And the amount of work it takes to educate these children is fucking. It's mystifying, and it's like I mean, like I've only ever. I've seen a lot of people be like, teachers get paid too much or whatever the case is. And it's like, you have no idea how wrong you are.
Someone
Like, to
said
make a
teachers get paid too much.
Yeah.
What
like
a
a
fucking
unilateral statement.
No, I think it depends on the school.
It depends on the
I
school.
think it
but I can
depends
tell
on
you
the
there's-
school.
and-
I've looked
and
up
the
my high
system.
schools, and it's crazy. There's teachers getting like high six figures that I would never guess. And then there's new teachers that can barely get jobs and then aren't paid shit and are doing jobs like that.
Right.
There's
I mean,
both.
But there's both for sure. But like also there's just circumstances involving it. But you see people. Corinne's ex-boyfriend used to say that all the time. And it's like, well, you live in a
that was a
van.
funny bit. No, he had a funny bit about it. That was actually a bit he'd do in like Brooklyn shows, and he'd win people over because it was funny.
I don't remember that. I just know he lives in a van. And so anyways, yeah, so it's extremely difficult to like educate these kids and whatnot. I shouldn't even deal with like anybody like that, you know? And it's fucking, I forget what the fucking, why I was bringing that up.
I agree with that. I mean, that's the kind of
Like-
work that like, fuck, I wouldn't want to do it.
Right, no, for sure. And it's like to hear some of these parents talk, then you hear a parent talk of like a normal kid or whatever, and they're like, and they want their kid fucking babied.
Right.
Can you imagine like how difficult it is for somebody who wants like their, you know,
Special needs kid.
yeah, special needs kids and stuff like that. I've always like felt super bad for those
God, I'm
kids.
so
like,
glad. I'm so glad my pullout game is so strong.
Oh man, I'm so glad I don't have a kid either because I'm pretty sure
You're
it
talking
would
about
be
looking.
retarded.
That's the reason that we look better than our parents did at our age
Yeah, because you haven't raised a
because we haven't raised
15-year-old by now.
fucking kids.
My grandpa, by the time he was my age, was a grandpa to me.
Yeah, that's great.
What?
He got married when he was 16. Had my mom when he was 16. My grandma was 21. It was back in 1950,
Right,
whatever, you know. And so had her when he was 16. When she was 22, she had me. So actually, he had 2 grandkids because my cousin's only a couple of years younger than me.
Wow.
He had 2 grandkids by the time he was like 42. And
You better get to work.
Oh, dude. Well, I mean, there are girls I went to high school. We've mentioned this before. That I went to high school with who are grandmas now. I mean, because like they had a kid in high school, and then their kid followed in their footsteps.
It's almost like
know?
it's cyclical.
Yeah, they're white too.
Yeah.
For those who are listening and can't see, Derek really raised his eyebrows above his hairline when he said that.
It's for comedic effect. I'd like to apologize for all the jokes I've made today on the show. I guess we got to do that.
Maybe
now.
just do a blanket
Apologize.
apology before we start, and then you don't even have to worry about it.
You know who I'm not sorry to though is Ryan Asher. Ryan
Asher.
You got an episode.
You're
named after
welcome.
you. Yeah, we talked about your fucking dong like quite extensively.
Should we close on that? Actually,
Yeah,
we're doing.
might as well, right? Huh?
Yeah, let's
That was
close on
pretty
Ryan's
fun.
dong.
Thanks for
Um,
making me giggle, guys. That was fun, huh?
Yeah, and then also maybe we should mention we can stick this in the beginning of the episode because the morning this comes out. So if you're listening to this as it's come out tonight in Bushwick, if you're in Bushwick, we have a show. We have a live show, probably the last live show. It's outdoors. It's on the rooftop of
it's
the
the
tiny
last
cupboard.
live show you're ever. We should cut like a little 30-second promo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
This
okay.
may
I mean,
literally.
like, just even separate from this.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Well, either way, it may be the last live show you ever get to go to. You fucking piece of shit.
I think you're a great person. I think I'd love to see you at our show. Please come to our
Please.
show.
Please
It's
come.
only
We need
$10. We're eating the ticket costs.
We need it. We need
the
you.
fees. We don't pass those along to you. Tiny Cupboard's a great venue. It's going to be the last good weather
Yeah.
that we have probably. I mean, probably won't be too cold. They've got booze there. It's a great view of Manhattan. It's the last good thing you'll ever do.
Yep.
Fuck yeah. Bushwick Bears, you know the drill.